Hi, it's Luke from Love Clarendon Park, and we're filming the first ever Love Clarendon Park TV show that we're going to be putting out on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and want to introduce you to our regular co-presenters. So we've got Glenn from Knightsbridge on Queen's Road.
Yeah, working in Knightsbridge, been in Clarendon Park now for 3 years this month.
Yes, so you were new to the area, weren't you?
Yeah, didn't know what to expect.
No.
And came here, and I have to say, I was a bit daunted by the whole thing because I was told it was quite a tight-knit community, and it wasn't until you come in here that you realise there's so much that goes on, hence the reason for Love Clarendon Park.
Fantastic. And we've also got our resident music specialist, and we'll be coming on to that section shortly, Aidan Law. Hello, Aidan.
Hello, Luke.
And you're quite an oldie when it comes to Clarendon Park. Your parents live in the local area?
Yeah, they've lived over this way for about 30 years, so I've sort of spent a bit of time around the Stonegate area and around Queen's Road, so quite.
So it's in your stomping ground now?
It is a bit of a stomping ground for me, that's for sure.
So, Glenn, just for anyone that's watching this or listening to it, what's Love Clarendon Park all about? What are we trying to achieve?
Okay, so Love Clarendon Park, I mean, basically what we're looking to do is to get to know more about the local businesses, local events, people that are active within Clarendon Park. There's so much that goes on here, and I know we're going to talk about a couple shortly, that a lot of the local people still don't know about. So our job, what I see as Love Clarendon Park, is to make sure that we bring that into the forefront and let people see what's going on.
Yeah, because I think one of the things that we were talking before we started filming was, before you came to the area, you didn't realise how much of a close community it is here, and
I have no idea.
And I mean, having worked within the Clarendon Park area for the past 20 years, it's amazing how well the community does come together when it needs to. So, but there's a good active business community, lots of independent businesses. So we're going to want to be coming round to showcase those businesses, to help those businesses flourish. We've been to a couple already. The restaurants, the coffee shops.
Definitely,
we're not short of those along Queen's Road.
I do like to go and look into the coffee shops and the restaurants, obviously, as you can see.
Charity shops. There's a good selection of charity shops, and I know
Aidan will come on to that.
I know sometimes they get a bit of a hard press, but they do offer a good service to the community. It's not just clothes; it's goods, and we'll come on to the other bit shortly.
Yeah, if I can just say that, you know, sitting where I do, sort of 5 or 6 days a week, it never ceases to amaze me the amount of people that pull up outside to drop things off to these charity shops. You know, in the business that I'm in, you know, we see people moving day in, day out, and it's very easy for us to say to people, look, why not? If you're moving and you don't want these things, donate them to these guys. Yeah. You've got Age Concern here, LOROS. It's really good. Yeah,
it is definitely. So if you would like to be featured, or an event to be featured, if you've got a community event coming up, school fete, community group, we'd love to hear from you. So drop us an email, info@loveclarendonpark.co.uk, or look for us on Facebook, and you'll be able to post a message, and we'll get in touch with you so that we can feature you in future episodes. But earlier we popped out to see our
friend Simon.
Fairy from Christopher James Delicatessen.
We did indeed.
So let's go and see what we found out about one of the local delis on Queen's Road. Hi Simon.
Hello.
You okay?
Yes, very well, thanks.
Hey, Simon. All right.
Good, thanks.
So we've come up to see some of the delights that you've got on show, because I know I normally come in to get some of the black bomber.
Yeah, indeed. That's your favourite, isn't it?
Yeah. So what is Clarendon Park's most popular or favourite cheese?
I would say the Colston Bassett Stilton.
Oh, the Stilton,
Yeah, and some of the lesser known British cheeses, the artisan cheeses.
Oh, okay.
The Baron Big Gulp, which is an unpasteurised.
So is that like an equivalent of a brie type cheese?
But British.
Yeah.
And the Montgomery cheddar is very popular actually. And then local Sparkling Hoe Red Leicester.
And you've even got some that are named after some of the businesses
we've got
on Queen's Road,
haven't you?
Babalas chili cheese. Yeah.
Which is serve that on their cheese board.
Yeah, no, which is good. So what do you love about Clarendon Park?
I like the diversity around here. It's a very nice mix of people. that yes, there's students around here, but there's a lot of different types of people. Everybody gets on, and so it's a very good mix in the area.
Because I know you came into the business, you bought the business, didn't you?
Been here
So
3 years now.
Been here for, gosh, that time's certainly flown by,
Same
isn't
as
it?
me, that is. 3
Yeah.
years in Clarendon Park, so that's good going.
Yeah. So what other things could people come and get from Christopher James Deli if they wanted to?
Our savouries are pretty famous around here.
Yeah.
We've got our onion bhajis and samosas, which also happen to be vegan.
Yeah.
We've got some lovely handmade Scotch eggs with a nice runny yolk.
They've got a nice kick to them, the barges, haven't they?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, very warming. You don't need to warm them up to get a bit of warmth from them. Then we've got some wild rabbit and bacon pies.
Yeah.
Some pulled pork and apple, the vegan tofu and sweet potato pies. So we try to give everybody.
And these are all made locally, aren't
yes,
they?
Yes. So we encourage. Or what I like to do is have anything fresh coming in from local producers.
Yeah.
So it's supporting the people locally.
Other
as
independent
well.
small businesses as well. No, fantastic. And I know there's a selection of pasta and coffee and that kind of thing. So brilliant.
Yeah, not forgetting I often pop down here for my lunch, so I get the nice ciabattas and filled with. You can do a lot of warm fillings as well now.
We do, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So, no, thanks for your time.
No problem.
So anyone that's wanting to sample something different or try some of the different cheeses, I'd highly recommend coming down to see Simon at Christopher James Deli, and you're not going to be disappointed. And even if you're stuck for a meal, come in and pick up one of these ready-made pies, pop it in the oven, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed, are you?
No, definitely not.
So let's pop back to the office. Very tempting, some of that food, isn't it? Yeah. So I have to say, probably maybe twice a month to pick up a big wedge of that black bomber cheese.
Yeah,
if you haven't tried it, it's worth trying.
You knew that was your favourite, didn't you?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Bomber cheese.
Black bomber cheese,
Right,
black bomber is beautiful, beautiful. So one of the things that I like to support, and I know that Knightsbridge like to support as well, is LOROS.
Absolutely.
And they've got a couple of events coming up. One of them being the Tower Run.
You're going in that, aren't you?
I've entered today, yeah. So I've actually entered that today. My aim is to raise £500 for that, for LOROS. And out of every pound that's raised, 90p of that goes to the actual charity and running of the charity.
Which is amazing, really.
Charities, again, come under a bit of bad press, don't they, with how much actually goes through to the good causes. So that's a great thing. But what the Tower Run is, it's, for those of you that don't know, it's the St George's Tower, which is towards the bottom of London Road near the train station. 351 steps, right from the bottom all the way to the top. And you do get a glass of Prosecco at the top. The downside is you do have to walk all the way back down.
That's a bit I've offered to do.
I've
tried to enter the downward one,
Yeah, so that's on Saturday the 9th of March between 10:15 and 2 p.m. There may be a chance to enter on the day, so it would be great to see you there as well, Aidan.
Knees might be a problem, but...
well, we'll accept a donation.
I can help you out there.
So it is an iconic building within Leicester, and it is for a great cause. So that's certainly something to keep an eye on if you'd like to help support LOROS as well, or even help the fundraising that I'm in the process of setting up. We'll put the link within the comments of the video. But there's another event that Knightsbridge support regularly.
I mean, we've been supporting the Twilight Walk for the last 3 years, and it's something which I was first involved when I first came to Clarendon Park. And I have to say, I went down to LOROS and saw the great work that they do. There's a fantastic team. And you know, I can't emphasise enough that what they do can so much affect all of our lives. You know, we all encounter these things. Now, the Twilight Walk, I'm not going to go on about it now because I'm going to...
I know, earlier on today, I popped down with our video guy.
Yeah, you went down there earlier, didn't you? So
we've got a quick video that we can show people.
Oh, fantastic.
When I met with Abby down there, just to explain a little bit about the Tower Run, but also the Twilight Walk. So, who's better to tell us all about it than Abby?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Abby, this Tower Walk and Run, what's it all about? Sounds a bit scary, the kind of the tower, but I think it's at the St George's Tower, is that
That's right, yeah. So that building that we all recognise with the different coloured windows.
Ah, it's that building, is it?
Yeah. So 351 steps.
Wow.
Everybody might think that that's not a big challenge.
Yeah.
Trust me, it is. Entry is £17 per person to enter, but if you pledge to raise £50 at least in sponsorship, then it's free entry.
You can enjoy that torture for free.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, if people want to find out more, how can they find out more about enlisting for the tower?
So the best thing to do would be to go to our website.
Okay.
It's www.loros.co.uk/tower run.
Brilliant.
And that will give you all the information, and you can sign up online there as well.
Fantastic, and we'll pop the link at the bottom of the video as well. So, with any of the money that's raised through all these great events that LOROS put on throughout the year, where does the money go to? Who's it helping?
So we are a hospice specific to Leicester, Leicestershire and Rutland, and we care for over 2,500 patients and their families every year.
Gosh.
So we're a 31-bed unit,
Yeah.
providing specialist palliative care,
Yeah.
and that would be where all the money, 91 pence in every pound goes directly to patient care.
So a lot of that money being raised is going into care. So, so in terms of how much it kind of costs to run the hospice, I can imagine it needs a lot of fundraising activities throughout the year to keep it running.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So we have lots of different fundraising events that we put on throughout the year. New figures, new information that we've just received is that it's costing us more to provide our services every year. So we now have to raise £6 million in voluntary income and donations every year, which is where our fundraising events come into.
That's a huge figure to raise and an enormous target to raise.
Yeah.
But I know it's quite a well-supported charity within Leicester because it is, like you mentioned, Leicestershire and Rutland-based charities. So if you would like to help and raise valuable funds for LOROS, the Tower Walk, Run, you haven't got to run up all those 351 steps, you can easily walk up them, but I think there's even a treat at the top with a glass of Prosecco for people. Have they got to walk down?
Yes.
Oh.
Part of the challenge as well.
Going down is a
little bit
easier.
easier.
So please have a look at the LOROS website. I think I'm quite tempted to go along and have a go myself. Not the fittest, but we'll give it a go. It's for a great cause. Please help LOROS where you can. You can see why people want to support it, can't you?
Absolutely. Look, these guys, as I've said, they organise these events. There was things that I really wanted to do last year. They had various things, abseiling and stuff, which I never managed to do.
Yeah. Well, there's the events book. So there's skydiving.
Yeah.
You can enter the London Marathon as part of it. There's a Cotswold Walk. So again, it caters for everything. A golf day, ladies' lunch, Leicester to Skegness bike ride. So a lot of it is on the LOROS website as well.
And if you want any information about that, or you want us to get any information across to you, just ask, because we're more than happy to do that. With the Twilight Walk, we are going to talk about it next month as nearer the time, but I know 8 of the girls from here, they've entered already.
They have.
So it is fun, I have to say, having stood there for the last 3 years, sometimes in the cold, in the park, giving out refreshments.
It's never rained,
and necking them on. No, we've been lucky. It's rained just before.
Yes.
And then stopped, but it's fun for us, and it's fun for them. So do support that if you can. So that's LOROS. And why we're on LOROS, because we've talked to Aidan already, and he's a regular in the LOROS charity shop. They've got 2 here on Queen's Road, haven't we? We've got one which is the bookshop, and then the other is the one that Aidan frequents.
I go into both actually. The bookshop's really good. They have a new display on the window every day, and so they're changing the actual the books, which are really quite topical and of interest, and really good bargains. I mean, books for a couple of quid. Really can't fault it. And there are some lovely finds in there and some real diamonds, that's for sure. But
you are.
I am
a vinyl specialist, and you're our regular vinyl section.
I have a fetish for vinyl.
So you even have a jukebox.
I have a jukebox as well. I've got various record players, decks, and one thing or another. But my.
But why vinyl? Because this day and age, you can get your mobile phone out. It's all available on Spotify. What's the appeal about vinyl?
Well, my jukebox has got some really big bins, and they do blast out, and it's the vibration that they cause. So it's about a sensory thing more than anything else.
Yeah.
There's a crackle that goes on, and there's a depth of noise that you get from a single that you will never get from anything that's digitally re-enhanced or as such.
And it
also,
does give you that good feeling as well, doesn't it?
But there's also the one thing that people always miss. They have a B-side which never appears anywhere else in any other format, and some of them can be real gems.
Wow.
And I love looking for B-sides, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but if you find one, it's just perfect.
And normally it's the B-side that hasn't been played.
Very rarely.
Yeah.
It might have bits of jam on it or one thing or another, but you know, you can clean them up, and they are so robust, and you know, they do test the time.
So what is Aidan listening to, or what has Aidan been out to buy this month?
Well, this was unconnected, but I've been into LOROS today, and I picked up Squeeze records.
So what have we got by Squeeze? We've got
Is It Love?
Is That Love?
Which is a great single, and it's a picture sleeve as well, really nice.
So by picture sleeve, what do you mean by picture sleeve?
Rather than just having a plain sleeve, it's got some sort of graphics on there and the like. So you know, it's just really nice and very iconic, and it shows something seen from the 80s.
You know what I love about Aidan? He buys these things, and sometimes he comes to me and says, I've never heard that one before.
Well, I haven't. I mean, I bought the Waterboys last December. I haven't heard that one, although I'm not familiar with that one. But I'll give it a play, and with it being the Waterboys, you know it's going to be decent. Yeah. That's for sure. But I'm looking forward to listening to the B-side. There's a couple of Joe Jackson ones I picked up today, One to One and Jumpin' Jive. And I've also Wang Chung from the 80s as well. I picked up a single there. Again, I've not heard it, but I'm looking forward to listening to it.
So is it mainly 80s music that you're going for?
It's all sorts of things. I mean, there is stuff in the 60s there. I'm just trying to buy stuff which I've probably not listened to before and probably hasn't got the airplay before. So it can be quite fresh the first time you listen to it. So all sorts, really.
But I've spent time with Aidan, and I have to say, it encouraged me to go out and buy a little record deck.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. And
every house should have one.
And
how much was it? How much was it? About £20
or something.
Yeah, you said. Yeah.
And it's great. I've got my vinyl out from many years ago, and unfortunately some of the really good ones are scratched. But I started playing them. My wife wondered what was going on. But I have to say, I really struggle to fast forward.
You can't.
When you're on them albums, you have to wait. You can't just fast forward.
It's Stone Age music. It really is. But it's wonderful. The format that it comes out on, it can't be beaten, as far as I can see. You know, just putting that needle in the groove there, and it has a magic all of its own.
Yeah. Well, it's people like Aidan that helps these shops survive. So
but again, they're raising money for LOROS that's going to go into help that palliative care, where they're actually helping over 2,500 patients, I think it is, a year.
Yeah.
So that's your new regular feature.
Well, I bought 5 today, and I spent £5.50 on there.
Yeah.
And it's a charity shop, so I know it's all going to go to a good cause at the end of the day.
And the enjoyment that you're going to get from listening.
I'm going to get lots of enjoyment out of that.
Excellent.
Well, let's bring it back to what else is going on in the Clarendon Park area at the minute. So we've got a few events to kind of publicise. Yeah. There's a Clarendon Park cinema. Did you know?
I didn't actually.
Glenn knows more.
Yeah, I read up on this a little while ago. It's actually at the Friends Meeting House just along here on Queen's Road. They meet once a month, and they play films. I mean, this one's coming up. Let's have a look. Dog Day Afternoon. Al Pacino, Sidney Lumet was the director there. It's a classic.
It is.
I've never seen it. It'll be interesting to have a look at this. And I think, you know, people in this area, again, because of the academics, because of the kind of people that are living in this area, they do, you know, go along and enjoy these kind of events. So, you know, that's great. That's the 27th of February, 7:30 p.m. So get there a little bit earlier. You can go on their Facebook page, which is Clarendon Park Cinema, or you can search Donny Clary Park for all the upcoming movies, it says here, so that's good. Yeah. Okay, what else we've got, Luke?
So a lot of residents will have noticed that, I think it was just before Christmas, the Clarendon on the corner of West Avenue
it closed really quick, didn't it?
And Montague Road just closed unexpectedly, but it's reopened. So it's got a new what do you call that? Landlord, that's
Yeah.
it, new landlord.
I've been invited there Friday nights after 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
One of our clients has said you must come along. So they have a really
So
good
I
evening
think
there. Yeah.
my understanding and what I've seen from their Facebook page is that they're being well supported because it was a local facility that was being missed, particularly over Christmas. But what they have is board game and pizza night. And that's on a Monday night. So anyone that comes in and plays a board game gets free pizza on the night.
I'll be back, can it?
So sip a nice pint of ale and play a board game and get away from your phones and no screens.
Yeah, quiz night's on Wednesday. Cash prizes to be won, that's good. With an accumulator.
Yeah. So if they don't win that week, it rolls over into the next week. So I think we maybe ought to think about entering a team.
Yeah. We've been asked to mention as well the vintage dig.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, we know about the vintage clothing and things and one thing and another, but they're having a closing down sale, unfortunately, or fortunately for those that are looking for a bargain. So if you don't know what the Vintage Dig is, it's a vintage clothes shop. It's hidden in Leicester near St Margaret's bus station on Burley's Way. I have got the postcode here, so if you want to look it up, it's LE13WL. I think the owner of that is local to Clarendon Park.
Correct, yes they are, yeah.
Which is why we're talking about it now, because our aim, as you know, is to help everybody Clarendon Park. So,
and there's free parking on site,
Yeah.
so you haven't got to worry about parking. And apparently everything must go, and there's going to be lots of bargains to be had.
Well worth a visit then.
yeah,
Definitely. Sure.
definitely for you, Aidan.
Yeah.
Retro.
He'll come out looking like something from the 60s, won't he? You can imagine it.
Watch this space.
He will.
We'll make sure he does now.
So let's just have a recap about.
Yeah.
So we've talked about Simon at Christopher James Deli. It's certainly worth a visit. But what we're here to do is to help promote what's going on in Clarendon Park, because
Can I just say as well, it's Clarendon Park, the Knightons, of course,
Yeah.
Stonygate. It's all the things around this area
Yes.
that we're looking to promote. So Clarendon
And
Park is
even
where we are.
as we're going down to the city centre, like
Yeah.
we have with the Vintage
Absolutely,
Dig.
absolutely.
So we just want to help promote local businesses so that we can encourage each other and thrive and grow, but also those community groups.
Yeah. So I mean, look, if you've got any business out there that you want us to promote, a local event, charity events really, we've supported Avenue Road School and St John's on many occasions. We want to continue to do that. If you've got something else you want us to support, contact us, give Luke a call or drop him an email. Find us on Facebook. You know, that's the thing.
So you can find us on Facebook, Love Clarendon Park. You can send us an email, info@loveclarendonpark.co.uk. Or alternatively, pop in and see us at Knightsbridge, 72 Queen's Road. If you want some record tips, Aidan's your man. Maybe might even open an exchange or swaps it.
I'm thinking of bringing some decks in and letting him sit at the back of the office now.
Yeah, he could do the on-hold music.
What, rather work?
So thank you very much for tuning into the first episode. We're going to be back in March, where we're going to be letting you know more about what's been going on in the local area, and maybe reporting back on how I get on at the Tower Run. If not, that'll be in April.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.